Hey y'all, it's Danielle from Black Business Boom, and I'm live again with the nonprofit spotlight. Really excited to have my banker, one of my bankers here with us, and he has started an amazing nonprofit here in the Nashville area that's helping to really change the trajectory of lives for teens here in Nashville and helping to close the wealth gap. So we're going to talk about elevated development today, all the work that they're doing. And then we got a couple of folks in the room that we're going to introduce you to. Welcome, Herman. How are you?
Thank you, Danielle. I am doing great. I am honored and thrilled to be on this show with you.
Absolutely. And I'm excited to have you. You have been doing this work for a while now. And so I'm excited to be able to spotlight it. But let's first talk about your background because I want people to know that you are the right person to be
Hmm.
doing this work. So tell us a little bit about your background, Herman.
Okay. So I grew up a dusty kid in the projects, to be honest with you. And I saw all this poverty, drugs, all the bad things that happened in the projects. And I knew at an early age, Danielle, I wanted to work with money. I wanted to work with wealth. I didn't want to be broke, and I didn't want the people that I loved and the people around me to be broke. So I've been walking this path for a long, long time in my mission and purpose. And I thought accounting was what I needed to do to make the difference, and quickly learned that finance, banking was really where the origination, control, protection, and transferring of money takes place. Accounting is the placement of money. So I have been in banking for about 22 years now. I would consider at a very high level. I would consider at a very high level because I'm to the point now to where I get to work with people like you that have assets that can get access to capital. And so I have fun doing 7 and 8 digit deals and just working with wealthy people and wealthy families and businesses. And so I'm really bringing all of that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to this nonprofit.
Amazing. And you gave us a little look into kind of your upbringing, and I imagine some of that is what sparked some of this work. But tell us, what sparked you to say, I'm doing this work on a really high level. I'm sure you're getting paid well over there. You are working with very wealthy individuals generally. What made you decide I need to give back? Like, I need to make change in our communities. How did that come about?
Well, I've always been a person of change. And so actually, elevated development started in college. We wanted to create a mechanism to go into the high schools and college and really talk to the high school students about our experience as college students. How did we make it from high school to college? So it's always been in my heart to kind of give back because as a young child, I really wanted to help people. And so, what I quickly realized as I was working with wealthy individuals, the characteristics of wealthy individuals are very constant. Good cash flow, good liquidity, uh, you know, good money management, budget management, estate planning. And so a lot of the times working in our community, in the Black community, we are behind the eight ball due to several reasons. One being the transatlantic slave trade, and it is very fitting that we're talking today, and Juneteenth is just around the corner. And so with that slave trade, it created this wealth gap. And I know the wealth gap all too well because I'm working with individuals and families at the top end of the wealth gap. But most of the people that look like me and my family members and around us are at the bottom end of the wealth gap. And so when those people come in to me and they want to access $1 million, $2 million, $10 million to do a development in their neighborhoods and things like that, and then financial institutions are unable to do that because of liquidity, I knew I needed to do something right there. And so that really drove me to really start focusing on high school students because if I can catch high school students before they turn 18, then they have the ability to really, really build wealth in proper order. Because right now, you'll find a lot of adults, while they may be wealthy, the money is not efficient. And what I mean by that is instead of having 200,000, instead of having 2 million, you've got 500,000 because your growth wasn't efficient because you didn't have the resources, the information, and the knowledge. So when I talk to Black and brown business owners all across Middle Tennessee, that is the constant message to me: is we didn't know, we had no idea that you can do this. And so so if I could take all this information that I've obtained over the years and then spread that information to high school students before they actually step foot into the real world, I think we're doing something there. And so we've got some programs and some things that really move that needle. But of course, as a nonprofit, we need funding, we need support, we need all of those things. So that is
Yeah.
that's kind of the trigger point for me to say, hey, I'm gonna revamp, revitalize elevated development. I'm gonna change it into a financial platform, and I'm focused on high school students. But the beauty of it is, Danielle, I also have the parents bring the students with them, and so I'm also talking to the parents indirectly through the
Mm.
students. So that's what I like about this organization, and it's no pressure, it's no taxes. I love it.
That helps, right?
Yes, indeed.
For
Yes, indeed.
sure. No, but you're right.
Yeah.
As a almost 40-year-old person, I'm now just starting to learn about growing my money. Like, and not only that, I've made all the mistakes, and a lot of what I'm learning is because I'm trying to right the wrongs of,
Mhm.
all the things that I messed up in my
Absolutely.
20s and early 30s. And now I'm like, oh, there's a better way to do things.
Right.
So, and no one, and Black folks don't like to talk about money for
Right.
some reason. So I
Hmm.
think there's a lot of information that we withhold, we hold to ourselves, and we withhold from others because we just don't have those open conversations. And
Yeah.
so it can be considered taboo to even talk about how much money do you make, how much money do you have, how much
Yes.
money did you save, what's your credit score. Like, we're like, we don't talk about those things with our
Hmm.
friends and families. We keep it in the house, right? And
Absolutely.
so I love that you are opening the door for folks to be transparent and
Hmm.
to understand these things before they
Hmm.
mess up, before they go to
Absolutely.
college and they start getting the credit card offers, or they start getting the payday loans, and all these things that will impact them in the long run. So I
Yes.
want to talk a little bit about Success Saturdays because I think it's just a brilliant idea and a brilliant concept of what you kind of pull together with the program. So tell us a little bit about Success Saturdays.
All right. Well, thank you for mentioning Success Saturdays, and if I'm not mistaken, I know for a fact you have attended one of our Success Saturdays, and I sincerely thank you for that. So, our mission is to confront multi generational poverty, financial deficiencies by closing the wealth gap. We use the circle of wealth to execute on that. There's 5 components of the circle of wealth: is source of income, credit, lifestyle management and budgeting, retirement, and then what I call an opportunity fund, which houses real estate, the stock market, and business, and it rolls all up back up to sources of income. Success Saturdays is geared towards the top end, which is sources of income. So what we want to do with Success Saturdays is we want to bring very high level, successful business folks to our forum. People like you, Danielle, to come and talk to our high school students and their participants about what you do, how you got there, what were the challenges, what can you expect. So our high school students can kind of get an understanding on that particular field. Because if we're talking in terms of building wealth, you need a source of income. That's where it starts. Okay. If you have no money coming in, there's nothing to build on. So you need that foundation of money. And so we want our students to understand that they can get a 4-year degree, a 2-year degree, a business license, certifications, commission jobs. There's all types of strategies that you can employ to really gain a source of income. And so um, that is the gist of the Success Saturday. But the fun part for me in the Success Saturday is at the end, because all of our events, we incorporate capitalism in the sense of money distributions, cash distributions. And people criticize me for using this terminology and this language because our students couldn't understand it. that made me want to use that information in this vocabulary even more about distributions and things like that. So what happens is we have a drawing at the end of every Success Saturday, and we give out cash money, cash incentives to two or three lucky participants. And they have the ability and opportunity to invest that money into five different areas. It can go to a 4-year degree, it can go to a 2-year degree, it can go to a business license, it can go to an investment account, and last and least, the worst place we want to put it is what people always tell students to put their money is a savings account. We don't want to put the money in a savings account. We want to lock that money up in a way that it's going to grow for them. And so I love doing this. I've got one student. She's kind of my prize student. She's been around me for about 3 or 4 years now. And she's to the point to where she's now receiving 4-digit returns on her investment account that we started based on some of the activities and things that we do at Elevated Development. So that's the part I love, is really sitting down with the parents, sitting down with the students, opening these investment accounts, getting this money going for them, because I know, that if they could start investing at 15, 16, and 17, by the time they're 30 and 35, they'll have that liquidity to where they can access capital. They'll have that liquidity to where they can buy real estate. They'll have that liquidity where they can start a business. And they're not gaining that liquidity in a very expensive way. And so there are definitely expensive ways you can gain liquidity, but we want to be very efficient. I keep going back to that, is efficiency. So that's what I love about Success Saturdays and Elevated Development. We've had some phenomenal people. But we are definitely going to get you on there. I had you.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah,
But no, I came to one of your events at NAMAM, and you were like handing out money. Like they were handing out money to the teams all through the event, like to spark engagement, to get them to answer questions, and it was just amazing. I was like, oh, the same person's like raising their hand because they're like, oh, I can make some money off of engaging with the program. And let's be real, money is a motivator. I'll raise my hand too if I'm getting $20 for answering the question. So I love it as a motivator because realistically, that's it's real life. It's
capitalism.
real life.
Yeah, that's the capital. So we say fee for service, incentive for performance. So what I love about that, Danielle, is we have students and their parents say, my son, my daughter never talks in these type of things, and they answered all the questions. So it really gets these students motivated, and it sets them to speak up, because as you know, if you are quiet and you're not aggressive, not even aggressive, but if you're not active in what you're trying to do, capitalism, it'll pass right by you, and you'll be.
And you're not listening. Like many times we are sitting in these programs, and you're hearing somebody talking, you're not actively listening. But if it's some money that's on the table, I'm paying attention. Like I'm paying attention to what they're talking about, because I'm waiting on the questions so I can raise my hand. So I absolutely love it. Before we wrap up, you got a couple students in the room with you. I want to make sure we say hello to them and learn about them.
So we are big on employing students at Elevated Development, and we've employed students from day one. We've always asked for input and that sort of thing. So I've got 2 interns with me. My interns have the pressure of working with me daily, but they also have the pressure of doing a capstone project at the end of their internship. So I love the pressure, the nervousness. I love that they have to go through that, because that makes diamonds. That's going to make them sharp. And so I like for them to introduce themselves to the people and to you as well.
Hi, my name is Emily, and I'm 17 years old, and I go to Glencliff High.
Hello, my name is Destiny Wilson. I am 18 years old. I'm a graduate from Nashville Schools of the Arts.
Fantastic.
Yes. So we are 3 days in, and they are really making progress, and their title is social media marketing manager. And so they get to put that on their resume, and they get to build from that. And so I've got people coming in to talk to these students, not only about social media marketing, but about wealth, about real estate, about business. So they get not only this information, but they are going to make connections all around Nashville. And so I really
Yeah.
enjoy putting these students in a place for success.
I love it. Now, before we wrap, I got to make sure that everybody listening knows how to get involved because, I mean, literally just today, somebody was posting in Black People Making Moves asking for somewhere for their 12-year-old son. Like, people are looking for resources and need resources for their teens to, keep them on the right track while helping them grow. How
Mhm.
can people get connected to elevative development? What are the steps and what's coming up next for you guys?
All right. Well, I can tell you what's coming up next is you'll see a mirage of Instagram and social media posts and things from our two interns. Throughout the summer, they'll be working on this capstone project. So I'm excited about really having something at the end of the summer to look forward to invite students and their parents to get involved with. We are primarily right now in the school systems. We're in Davidson County, Williamson County, and Dixon County, Rutherford County. And so we kind of move around in the schools now. But this summer, we will be reinstituting Success Saturdays. We will have that. We'll have some other modules online that you can do. But the best way to connect with us is hit us on Instagram at Elevated Development. We will be beefing up our TikTok, so you'll be able to see us on TikTok as well. And then probably following me personally on Facebook because I think the way that I have it structured is I really am not stricken by corporate commercial structure. So this information that I have is just knowledge in my head. So I don't have to go to anybody to do this. So I can do this anytime. So we're very organic. I flow with the students. We reflect each other and I try to understand what they need and how to deliver that. So I don't have a lot of structure and I like it. And so
I
just
love
stay
it.
tuned for Instagram and look at our social medias to find out what's next for us.
Fantastic. If you have a teen here in the Nashville area, the Middle Tennessee area, make sure you connect with Elevated Development on Instagram. Go follow Herman Hicks on Facebook. He drops nuggets there all the time. Again, you'll see Herman out around town. He is very open to questions and open to even for the adults, to say, I'm struggling with this. I need help with this. Do you have any advice? He really is a wealth of knowledge. And so we got to lean in when we have these experts in our community that are willing and able to support us and give us that and transfer that knowledge to help us to grow as professionals, as business owners, as
Mhm.
families,
Yep.
as communities. So
Yep.
I really am excited to see the future of elevated development. Of course, I've been around, I've been watching for years now and just excited to hear you're in the school systems.
Yeah.
It's growth. I'm
Yeah.
really excited for you guys over there. Make sure if you're tuning in, get involved. Like Herman said early on, they need donations, they
Mhm.
need volunteers, all the things that a nonprofit needs. And so,
Please.
Herman,
Yes.
real quick,
Yeah.
if someone is interested in giving back, volunteering time, donating money, what's the best way for them to be able to do that?
We've got a website, elevateddevelopment.org. You can donate through that. You can contact me directly through Instagram or Facebook if you want to donate. If you want to volunteer, just reach out to me. I mean, social media is there. You can contact whoever you want to, whenever you want to. And so we are here. We're there. We're everywhere. So just hit us up on social media and let us know how you want to get involved. And then, yeah, I do want to say I sincerely appreciate what you're doing, your platform, how you're transforming this business world. And then also, I am very, very impressed with your personal financial growth. And so I can vouch
Yeah.
for Danielle, y'all. Check mark.
Yeah,
She's
I ain't lying
walking
when
is
I'm over
living.
here.
She's talking it,
And that's
walking is
one thing,
living.
again, I don't talk about money a lot on my platform, but I try to let people understand the mistakes that I've made and the things that I've overcome and
Mhm.
that I've come a long way in the, the last
Yeah.
5 to 7 years. We've come a very long way
So
by
Danielle will be
learning and,
so
and
Danielle
leaning
will
into those that can help me. Yeah, and by
so
having a
you're gonna be
husband
at the
that is
top,
all
Danielle.
about.
One of those people at the top that we need,
Yeah,
that is blazing the trail, cutting down the trees and the weeds, and getting us into a clear path for financial success. Because in my mind, if we can get financial success, we can start healing our communities, and we can start repairing some of these things that happened during the transatlantic slave trade that have not been repaired. And so it's not just monetary reparations that we need to be talking about. We need to be talking about mental reparations too. So
oh,
we need to
Lord.
get our
We could
minds
do
back. So anyway, that's
we
my
could talk all day about it, I'll tell you. But
yeah. I'll step
no,
back.
this was great, Herman.
Yeah.
Again, super proud of you. Thank you so much for all your support and all your help, both personally and professionally. Much appreciated everything you're doing in the community. Y'all go connect, get your teens connected to Elevated Development. They're doing amazing work for the teens, helping to close this wealth gap. We need this. We need this content. Again, thanks again for tuning in, and thank you for joining me, Herman. Everybody have